Hi, I am Savino, and this is bad. Very bad. If you follow my work here, you know I don't care much about the story in beaten ups. Usually it's the first bit I talk about in my reviews and it's often short, with just a synopsis of what the game is about and I move on. Sure, this doesn't mean I don't enjoy good stories like the one in Brock the Investigator, the mysteries surround Mayhem City in Mayhem Brawler, or even the silliness of River City Girls or the simplicity of Shredder's Revenge. I do enjoy those stories, but more often than not, stories in beaten ups are just an excuse to walk around punching people in the face, and I like that. What I don't like is when I press start and the game simply throws me on the first level. No cutscenes, no wall of text, no scenes from the movie, nada. You simply start the game, select which character you want, more on that later, and the first level begins. The game is based on a 2021 movie with the same name starring Nicolas Cage, but unless you know the movie, which I didn't, or look on the web, which I did, you would have no idea what the game is about. I know this was made to be a, let's say, companion game for the movie, but this is just lazy. If you didn't watch the movie, you have no idea why you're fighting against ostriches and guys wearing monkey and alligator masks. And as I said, I am one of those. There are 2 screenshots after you beat the game that do absolutely nothing. It's just a car leaving a city and a close-up of the character you used to finish the game and back to the title screen. I mean, this is just lazy and this developer is getting lazier with time. I will explain why I'm saying this in a bit. Graphically the game is... well, you guys are seeing this, aren't you? Yeah, the game looks awful. Poor 3D model, bland scenarios, terrible lighting. I mean, there is not a single redeemable quality in here. I know making games isn't easy and I know how hard 3D can be, but this looks horrendous. I won't even comment about the fact the main character has nothing to do with Nicolas Cage because I get it. Paying for the dude's image must be very expensive, but look at this. This does not look good. The model is not horrible, but it's clearly poorly made, as you can see by this part of his shirt somehow clipping on his neck, or the texture is badly placed, I don't know. All I know is that both the characters and the enemies look very bad. When it comes to animation, things are even worse. Your character has 2 stances, idling and running like hell. There are no frames to attenuate the transition. The same is true for your enemies. While they have an animation for being knocked down, this animation doesn't trigger a lot of the time, so you see your enemies simply lying on the floor after a couple of punches. To give you an idea how poor things are in this game, one of your special moves consists of your character T-posing and simply spinning on his axis. I mean, you can get any lazier than that. Or can you? Actually, you can. After a couple of minutes playing this game, I realized that everything under the hood here is taken from a unit template made by a company called Ozarium. This template, which is the go-to tool for lazy devs, is a great tool to understand the engine and can even help you create your own game, but a lot of devs, like this one, simply change the skin of the game and call it a day. Take a look at this. Yeah, lazy. Look, I don't like to accuse devs of laziness because making games is pretty hard, but this is laziness, or worse. When it comes to the audio, what do you expect? It has some generic rock in all levels, probably bought in a pack of action tunes for your game. That's simply forgettable. I had to come back to the game and listen to some of the tunes to make sure they weren't the same on all levels, so forgettable they are. Your strikes also use some generic sounds that also come with the template, so as you can see, there's nothing original here. Things are so lazy in this game that the quote-unquote dev used the same bad voice clip for both characters, so if you're playing with the girl, you will listen her to speak like this.
Come on.
Really, it would be funny if the guy wasn't charging money for that. Now let's end this review talking about the gameplay and combat, because honestly, I'm just making this video because I saw some friends hyped by this game for some crazy reason, so I wanted to let it register that I warned you it's bad. Willy's Wonderland isn't a big game. You have 6 levels that will take you something around 45 minutes to beat. Actually, there are 7 levels, but the last one is just a fight with the last boss, so let's call it 6. You have two characters to pick, a guy and a girl without names, but as you can probably imagine, they are the same character just with different skins. You got a punch, a kick, a jump, a block, a desperation move, a dash attack, and 3 bonus moves that are shown by the word fun near your character's portrait. I think the dev chose this word to remind you what you could be having if you weren't playing this, but I digress. These bonus moves are triggered by pressing L and one of the face buttons, and their moves are a 50% increase in your strength, a health regeneration bonus, and the last where you become immune to knockback. These moves will recharge as you beat your enemies, and it is pretty quick, but not very extremely useful since the combat is completely broken. Look, I played bad games before, you played bad games before, but you never played this. Here, you can't be sure if your hits are connecting. I mean, you can see they are, but you don't feel like you did a ton of damage to your enemies. That's probably because you move so much when you punch or kick that you will pass through your enemies and end up on their other side with your back facing them. Enemies can also interrupt your attacks with ease and can even hit you during your specials since you lack any iframe in this game. The AI is... Wait, is there AI in this game? Oh, no, sorry, there isn't. Enemies just line up in front of you without any resemblance of intelligence. Look, I could go on and on telling how bad this game is, but I want to talk about something different. You guys heard me calling the developer lazy, and this is a first here on The Flying Kick. Those who follow my work know that I always try to bring something positive, and I always have nothing but respect for the developers, but there are some situations when I feel I have to speak my mind. Take a look at this. This is Red Nose War Dogs, created by the same quote-unquote dev and released for all consoles and Steam back in 2021, and this is exactly the same game as Willy's Wonderland. Exactly the same game. Actually, this is a lie. They are not the same game because, at least with Red Nose, the developer had the decency of adding a few cutscenes and something that reminds you of a story. Red Nose is also less broken with fewer glitches and more options like customization of your character. That's why I'm saying this quote-unquote dev is lazy. He took his first beaten up, which was already an Osarion template reskin, and put another skin over it, butchered the code in the process, didn't fix, compiled, and called it a day. Really, I don't think there is a place for games like this in anyone's library, and I really hope Killbyte stops publishing these quote-unquote dev games, because while the AAA industry has a problem with greed and incomplete/broken games, the indie scene has a problem with these asset flips plaguing Steam and the eShop, and when publishers as big as Killbyte keep pushing games like these so-called developers will see this as a chance to make a quick and easy buck. I'm asking you not to buy this game, not even as a joke, not even to mess with your friend at Steam sending this as a gift. It's terrible, it's lazy, it's broken, and your purchase will tell the developer and the publisher that things like that are okay, when they are not. Willy's Wonderland launches tomorrow for Steam and all consoles for $5, and all I can say is, this costs $10 more than it should. Again, don't buy it. Save these $5 for a snack, buy an ice cream, become a member of my channel. These are way better use for this money. Okay, shameless plug made, that's my cue to leave. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you hated this game as much as I did, and I'll be back pretty soon with another video, hopefully of a better game. Other than that, I hope you all have an awesome day, and remember, keep beating up.